What's up, guys? I'm sick, currently fighting a cold, and I know this video is going to come out in the middle of me posting a bunch of old videos, but it is Mental Health Awareness Month, so I thought that it was appropriate for me to make this video and upload it before the month of May ends, because I have dealt with mental health problems. I was not clinically diagnosed. We couldn't go to the doctor and get it, diagnosed properly, but after doing my own research and comparing my feelings and the way I was acting and certain symptoms to what I believe I dealt with, which was major depression, I drew the conclusion that from the years 2009 to about 2014, and honestly, still currently, there are some days I struggle with just things in general. I was, in my opinion, severely depressed. I know I've made a video about my own insecurities before, but I don't think I really talked deeply about what came with those insecurities. I mean, I spent pretty much the majority of my 7th grade year being bullied severely by classmates, and then I had to come home to a family member who was severely, emotionally and verbally and mentally abusing me on a regular basis. I mean, my self-esteem was shot. To this day, my self-esteem is still not where I would like it to be, but the main reason why I'm making this video is because I'm graduating in 2 weeks, and I used to not want to get to graduation. I used to wake up frustrated that I had to go through another day because it felt pointless. It was like, why am I even here if all I'm doing is just making other people mad, or I felt worthless. I felt like my life wasn't meaningful because I was being told that. And I think sometimes people don't take mental health as seriously as they should. I used to wake up before school and just stare at the ceiling great, here's another day. Oh, I wish it was over. I haven't even done anything and I'm already ready for the day to be done. There are days now that I feel like that, and I have to actually make myself get out of my room. But when you have depression, it's hard to want to do things to be productive. You have to constantly push yourself to do things, and it's hard. It's really, really hard. And I don't want people out there thinking that, when people talk about depression publicly, that they're looking for attention. It's more like you're being open with yourself and things that you struggle with, and kind of hoping that it can help somebody else, because you never know who's watching you. There are so many people in America and in the world that struggle with mental health problems, and they may not even know it. Major depression is something that most adults and teenagers will go their whole lives getting undiagnosed and untreated because they didn't know what was going on. It goes overlooked because sometimes people will say, oh, you just need to grow up, this is a maturity thing, when it's really just a chemical imbalance. It's something in you, in your body, that's not right. So for anybody watching this who think that they might be depressed, or they're dealing with things that make it feel too hard to go through life, I don't want to sound like a cliche type of video, but it does actually get better. I will admit that at one point in time I did want to commit suicide multiple times, actually, because life was too much for me. At a certain point in time, I didn't want to deal with it anymore, and sadly that's something that a lot of people run to get through their problems. The last time I considered committing suicide, the only thing that actually stopped me was thinking about how it was going to affect my family. I had just had a really bad interaction with a family member, and I was feeling like worthless and like I wasn't loved, and that I wasn't understood, and I just, I felt misunderstood a lot. So I was like, why am I even continuing to like live my life when I'm just a disappointment, and I hate disappointing my family. And I was strongly considering just killing myself one night, and the only thing that really stopped me was, if I feel like a disappointment to my family now, me doing this is really going to disappoint them. So I just I didn't do it. I will say that one thing I've noticed that's kind of like a pattern for people who deal with depression, and especially teens, has a lot to do with how we feel other people view us. It's really hard sometimes trying to live up to standards that we feel like family or friends will put on us, and it's overwhelming. And what I have to remind myself is that I am not them. I'm me. My name is Deanna Elise. I can't be anybody else. As hard as I want to be other people, sometimes I look at others and I'm like, man, I wish I was doing this. I wish I was doing that. I can't, be like them because I'm not them and they're not me. So I think one thing that I want to help other people understand is that it's okay for you to be different, and it's okay for you to be set apart than other people or from other people, because it's what makes you you. It's what makes you so unique and special. And I'm working on myself still. I'm not going to say everything is perfect, but I'm trying to be better. Suicide is not the answer to your problem. It's not a solution, because your problems are just temporary things. They can actually be fixed, and as hard as it may be to hear that, it is the truth. Because I didn't think I was going to get to graduation. Now I'm 18 going on 19, accepted to St. John's University, my dream city in New York. Never did I ever think that I was going to be able to get to this point in my life. But I had family and friends praying for me. I had, to self-motivate at time when I didn't have those family and friends there for me. You have to believe in yourself, and even though it's really, really hard to do, you gotta find ways to build yourself up. You have to find ways to push yourself through these hard things, because you can't let things overcome you. I know when I thought things were getting really hard, I had to pray. I had to get in my Bible. I had to read the word, because the Lord is my salvation. So in him, I find my source of happiness. And it's so hard sometimes just trying to source your happiness in others and things, because people and things are temporary, but God is not. And I know everybody is not a Christian. I'm not trying to make this video to convert anybody, but I'm just saying, for me, to get out of my dark places, I had to go to the light, and the light for me is God. So I encourage all of you who are struggling with mental health issues and diseases, because it is a disease. It's a disease of the mind and of the body. When you find yourself in these situations, take it seriously, and don't let other people persuade you to not care about yourself, because your relationship with yourself is one of the most important relationships you can have in life. People will come and go, but you have to take care of yourself first, because if you don't take care of yourself, who will? Everybody in this world is special. Everyone is important. Even the craziest people we see in the news, in the media, what they're important for, we may not know. But everybody has a purpose in this world. So don't let anybody make you think, or like, don't allow yourself, because you are in charge of how you feel and how you perceive things. No one can actually physically make you do anything. Don't let anybody, and don't allow yourself to believe that you are anything less than a remarkable individual, because you are. You're incredibly special and unique, and there is no one in the world like you. There are 4.8 billion people on this planet right now, and none of them are like you, because we are all individuals. So just because you're struggling and someone else is struggling, you two are not going to struggle the same. So don't try and compare yourself to anyone else. Don't think that whatever they're doing is what you need to be doing if you want to get better, because it may not work. You know, I had to find things that worked for me. I would work out, I'd take walks, I'd try and be around friends. And when that wasn't working, I had to learn how to be okay with being alone. That's one thing that I've actually come to learn over the years, that it's okay to be by yourself. Now, sometimes it can be too much when, like, if I'm feeling really sad or just too thoughtful, I don't even know if that you can say that, but sometimes I get lost in my thoughts, and the way I think, I tend to overthink things sometimes, especially in certain situations. I will get wrapped up in ideas and opinions and thoughts, and it will actually depress me. Like, I'll start thinking about the world and where everything is going, and then I'm total squirrel. I'm just lost in a bunch of stuff, and I have to calm my brain down and say, hey, come back to reality. After months and years of going back and forth over what I'm going to study, especially after I got rejected from NYU, I kind of settled on majoring in psychology. And the reason is, when I was younger and dealing with all the problems that I had, I always wished I had somebody to talk to, because I never felt like anybody understood me. It didn't matter whether I was talking to a family member, friends, a parent. Nobody was getting it. Nobody was actually really hearing me and hearing my thoughts, or understanding why I thought the way that I thought, or why I felt the way that I felt. And it was mainly because they didn't understand. They didn't understand me. They didn't understand what I was going through fully. They didn't understand why I thought the way I thought. And I think that being a psychologist, it'll help me better understand people. Because you can look at anybody and think, oh, they're smiling, they're happy. You don't know that. People can be dealing with so much and be putting on a brave face for you, and you think everything's fine, but really they're having a war with themselves constantly, and you never know. So my goal is to be able to help as many people learn how to know themselves better, and then know how to help themselves so that they can help others be better people, better individuals. Because once you learn about yourself, once you understand yourself, you can't help anybody if you don't understand. Like, if you can't even help yourself, how is that going to work? So my dream is to learn how to help me first and then help others. It's important to me to know how to read people, because so many situations people can be in and they can be misunderstood. And it's just because people don't understand. It's very easy to not understand people if you don't know the first thing about the person, So, know yourself, get to know yourself, take time out to learn who you are as an individual, and take care of yourself, because you're important, you're special, and you're needed. If anybody's telling you right now, anybody watching, that you're not worth it, and your life is pointless and not meaningful, and you're not valuable, bump them, okay? Just forget them completely, because you are worth it. You are a doggone diamond in the rough, okay? Like, you are just so special. And I want everybody to know that and understand that you have to be healthy all around. It's not just about the body, it's about the mind and the soul and the heart, all of it together. So happy Mental Health Awareness Month, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Share it with people you know, people you don't know, people you like, and people you dislike. I'm gonna go upstairs and drink some tea now. Hopefully this can calm down all this congestion. And I love you guys. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, a wonderful month, wonderful week. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Do you know what the tip of a shoelace is called?
Tip of a shoe.
Yes.
No, and why does anybody need to know that?
Just because you need to know things.
No. What is it?
An aglet.
Aglet?